Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Hawaii Virtual College Fair put on by Hawaii ACAC. We have an awesome group of institutions for you to hear from this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the Hawaii Virtual College Fair. So just a quick, some housekeeping items before we get started tonight. You'll be able to put your questions in the Q&A at the bottom of your screen. You can type those to our presenters at any time. So whether that's before they present, during their presentation, or afterwards. What I would ask you, if you have a particular question for a college, make sure you mention the name of the college in the question. That way they know that you are directing your question to that particular institution. This is a webinar, so just as a reminder, your camera and your microphone are off, so our panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of the many sessions happening, and so be sure to sign up for additional sessions if you have time. This presentation is being recorded and will be available on demand within about a week at that same website that you registered for tonight. And as a friendly reminder, again, make sure you put those questions in the Q&A at the bottom of your screen tonight. So without further ado, I am going to introduce our first institution. You're going to hear from the University of San Francisco.
Great. Hi, everyone. My name is Kalina Chittick, and I work for the University of San Francisco. I'm an associate director in our office, and I use she, her, hers pronouns. And I'm very excited to be here tonight to just share a little bit of information, or this afternoon, your time, to share a little bit of information about the university with all of you. So here's just a brief slide with some overviews about the University of San Francisco. We are a private Jesuit school based in the heart of the city. We have about 6,500 undergraduate students. So the size is that really nice medium size for students, which really gives you smaller classroom experiences. Our average class size is just 22 students, and our student to faculty ratio is 13:1. So within the classroom environment, you really get to know your peers and your professors, and you really get more of that hands-on discussion-based, project-based learning because of it. Being a Jesuit school, what that means to us is that we have some really strong values that we really build into all that we do at the university. Those values are surrounding social justice, service to others, and care for the whole person. So if you come to USF, you really will engage with those values both inside and outside of the classroom. And I really love the university because of that care for the whole person philosophy, really feeling like you are being cared for as a whole being, not just your academic setting, but really growing as a whole person while you're at the university is something we really focus on. Also, our motto at the university is to change the world from here. So we're really focused on creating change in society, leaving a lasting impact. So really thinking beyond yourself about how you can impact your community and others. We are ranked 5th in the country for most ethnic diversity among private institutions. So there's a lot of diversity coming to USF. So you can really get to know peers from different backgrounds and experiences. I'll just briefly update a few things with the application process this year, especially with COVID-19 and everything going on. We know that there's been impacts on a wide variety of different levels. So first of all, I want folks to know that we are a test optional school. We actually went test optional last fall. So students can choose to apply with or without test scores. We really review applications the same, and students are still considered for the full merit scholarships if you apply without test scores. We also this year have waived our letter of recommendation requirement. So we normally require 1 letter of rec, but this year we've decided to waive that requirement. So if you have one that you want to submit, great, but don't worry if you're not able to get one this year. We're also accepting unofficial transcripts to be reviewed for admission. We just recognize that it might be harder for students to get access to their official transcript, as well as the letters of recommendation this year because of the virtual setting that a lot of schools are in. So we have waived those requirements and made it so you can submit the unofficial transcript there. So just a few brief updates because I know that that can be on the forefront of lots of folks' minds. Just a little bit more about kind of where we're at in the city. This is actually a map of the whole city of San Francisco. Our campus is in the center there. We're just 3 miles away from the main downtown area and just a few blocks away from Golden Gate Park. The great part about San Francisco is it's a really compact setting. So the city itself is only 7 by 7 square miles. So that does make it really easy for students to get around. We also give all of our students public transit passes on your student ID. So you can take the bus or trolley in the city for free with your ID card. So students can easily access all that the city has to offer, whether that be events happening in the city, tons of good food. Also, internships are a big part of the student experience at USF. We have a goal for every student to complete 3 internships before they graduate. Kind of coming back to what I mentioned at the beginning about our diversity at the institution, this is our incoming class profile for this fall. As you can see, we have students coming from a wide variety of different racial, ethnic backgrounds. We also have 1/3 first-generation college students on our campus, and we do have something called the Muscat Scholars Program, which helps support and mentor first-gen students, especially throughout their first year at the university. And then kind of diving into more of our academics at USF, we have about 40 different majors and about 70 different minors, so lots of choices there. We are more of that liberal arts education, so we really focus on a well-rounded education at USF. So that also means if you're undecided and aren't quite sure what you want to major in, if you come into the university, you can easily explore within our core curriculum because there's a wide variety of different classes that you'll take. Also, it's very easy to change majors if you come in as like a biology major and decide you want to do, marketing. You can just fill out a form to change your major. We only have 2 direct entry programs at USF. That's nursing and engineering. So you do have to apply directly to those programs, and you can't change your major into those once you're at USF. The rest of our programs are very fluid for students to move around, but nursing and engineering we cap due to some really hands-on experiences they get. For nursing students, we are a direct entry nursing program that provides you with 6 clinical rotations and your registered nurse license. So because of that, we do, cap the program there. And engineering, we just started an engineering program this fall. So it has 3 different areas of concentration. We have environmental engineering, sustainable built systems, and computer and electrical engineering. And since it's so hands-on and that it's a brand new program, we are capping that for 25 to 30 students per year. So just a little bit about those programs, but as you can see, we have a variety of science programs like biology, chemistry. We've got a great pre-med track if you're thinking about going on to medical school. We also have those social science programs like psychology, sociology, and still have a lot of research opportunities within those social science areas. And then we also offer art programs like fine arts, architecture, and community design. We also have performing arts and social justice as well. And then we have a great school of management, which is really more of our business side of things. We have marketing, finance, accounting, entrepreneurship and innovation, international business, and hospitality management. So lots of choices there. Lots happening outside of the classroom as well, over 100 clubs and opportunities for students to get involved with sports. We have D1 sports, club, and intramural as well. And then I'll just wrap up with our different deadlines. We have 2 deadlines for first year students. We have a November 1 deadline, which I know is coming up quick here. If students apply by November 1, you'll hear back mid-December. And then our second deadline is January 15th. And then you'd hear back mid-March. We automatically consider students for merit scholarships, so no need to fill out a separate application for those. So I'll go ahead and wrap up here, but if you have any specific questions for USF, please feel free to put them in the chat and I would be happy to answer them there.
Thank you, University of San Francisco. To our participants, don't forget to put those questions in the chat. Next up, you're going to hear from Mills College.
Thank you so much. Just to introduce myself, my name is Quinn. My pronouns are they, them, and I am an admissions counselor here at Mills College. So I'm going to dive right in. So a little bit about Mills. We were established in 1852 as the first women's college west of the Rockies. Currently, we are located in Oakland, California, and we are now a historically women's college. We are a four-year private liberal arts college as well. And currently we do admit self-identified women, transgender, and gender nonconforming students. Our campus is fairly small, so we have about 700 undergraduate students, but this is intentional as it allows our students to have a more individualized learning experience. So when you're coming to your classes, you're going to be really encouraged to use those tools that you're learning in your classroom to apply in your actual life and to solve social problems and engage with your community. In addition to this, your classroom sizes are going to be about 12 10 to 12 students per class, and then the student to faculty ratio is about 8 to 1. Again, Mills really encourages all of our students to really feel comfortable being who they are, feeling comfortable to express themselves, and again, make a statement and make a difference. So Mills College is fairly diverse. We are a Hispanic serving institution. About 64% of our students do identify as students of color, and then 58% of our students do identify within the LGBTQ+ community. This is also good to say that all of our students really come to Mills with very diverse interests and passions when they come to Mills. We have over 30 different majors that we can offer to our students. Some of our most larger majors is English, politics, economics, policy, and law, our people major, pre-nursing, which is a 2+2 program, public health and health equity, psychology, and sociology. We do not require all of our students to apply to Mills with a declared major. You're allowed to be undeclared. You're not required to declare a major until the end of your second year. This also allows our students to be able to have some time to actually create their own majors. If you're interested in actually accelerating your career and getting both a bachelor's and master's degree, we do offer programs to get both those degrees with only an additional year being here at Mills. So resources that we do provide to our students, we do provide study abroad programs where students can study abroad either for a year or semester, both internationally and domestically. We also do offer career services where students are able to get assistance in their resumes and are applying for that first job. We also do have research and internship opportunities. We have an office called CAPS, which is our counseling and psychological services, where students are able to get 8 free sessions to actually speak with a counselor. And then we also have our student access and support services, what we call SAS, and this is our accommodations office. In addition to all of this, we also do have, all of our students have access to our health clinic on campus. And so then you may be wondering how our students get involved in our community. All of our students are highly involved. Academics is not the only factor when they come to Mills. They are also engaged with both their on-campus and off-campus community, either through clubs, organizations, and or through their internships. And at Mills, we really do encourage our students to interact with their faculty and with our alumni network. So by the time they graduate and they're off applying to their first job or continuing their education, they feel set and ready to be able to engage into that, go into that field and everything like that. So our application process is fairly simple. We do require either the Mills application or the common application. We do require official transcripts from any high school and or community college you've attended in the past. One academic letter of recommendation. And for international students, we also do require an English language proficiency exam. It's also optional to either submit your SAT and or ACT scores, and we have been test optional since 2017. We also do offer optional admission interviews. For our deadlines for first year students, you can either apply during our early action deadline or during our regular decision deadline. The only difference is that if you apply early by November 15th, you'll get to know earlier whether you're admitted or not, and it is non-binding. For transfer students, we do have a priority consideration for March 1st. However, you are also still allowed to apply after March 1st on a rolling basis. I know that financing a private education may seem costly. However, Mills does understand that, and back in 2017, we did decrease our tuition by 36%, and currently 92% of our students do receive some form of merit scholarships and or need-based aid to assist them being able to be able to afford a Mills education. So for merit scholarships, students can either receive $14,000 if they're a first-year student and or $10,000 if they're a transfer student. And our merit scholarships are renewable, so whatever you get when you're admitted is what you'll receive for the next 4 years. And so you may be considering why you would consider a women's college. People who do attend women's colleges are 2 times more likely to persist in the STEM field, and they also feel that their institutions are a lot more effective in preparing them for their first job. And so Barbara Lee is actually a Mills College alum, and she said that Mills encouraged her to become a free-thinking woman and that she was empowered to fight not only for herself, but also for all women, especially Black people. So thank you so much for letting me present to you all today. Again, my name is Quinn, my pronouns are they, them, and my contact is up on the top corner. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mills College. Next up, you get the pleasure of hearing from Baylor University.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Let me see if I can get. Can you see it? No, sorry. There we go. Good afternoon, everyone. Hi. Yes, my name is Anis Korzal from Baylor University. Thank you guys for being here. I know this is a short time, so I definitely want you guys to get our contact information. And for me personally, I want to help you guys throughout the whole journey of exploring Baylor and that next step in your career. So please never hesitate to reach out to us. A little bit about Baylor, for those of you who aren't as familiar, we are the Bears, and we have it in everything we do is a Baylor Bear. We're located in the state of Texas. We're actually the oldest university in the state in continuous operation in Waco. So if you guys are Fixer Upper fans, that's filmed in Waco by Baylor alum. And being in Texas is a huge benefit, regardless of the field that you want to go into after graduation. We have more Fortune 500 companies in a state like Texas than pretty much anywhere else in the world. And why that's an advantage for you is that a lot of these companies actively come recruiting our students, and the chances for internships are very, very high. So a great place to come study. I was a student at Baylor, and Texas is a great place to be. A little bit about our academic standings. We do have over 140 different majors, and some of the majors at Baylor only exist at Baylor. They're very specific to Baylor. Our average class size is about 26 students, and our student to faculty ratio is about 14-1. So even though from the outside, from the athletic side, Baylor looks like a really big school, when you're on campus, it really feels like a small, intimate institution. And that dichotomy is very hard to find. Also, we have the highest levels of tier research at the university. So even as undergraduate students, regardless of what you're coming into, whether it's apparel design or some type of petroleum engineering, you'll be doing levels of research here at Baylor, which is exciting. Some of the programs at Baylor, being a renowned school in many disciplines, we're very highly ranked in a lot of our programs, and that does offer a lot of opportunities to our students, but also it brings some of the best faculty in the world to come teach at Baylor. Big programs in engineering. We are in Texas, so engineering and computer science are very big. The new Silicon Valley is just outside of Austin, so your Google, your Amazon have a lot of their branches here. And so for our students, it gives them a wide list of opportunities for job placement and internships. Pre-healthcare, we about a third of our incoming class is one of the healthcare disciplines. We place about double the national average into medical school, and so it's a very popular major at Baylor just because of the preparation our students get. We also have guaranteed admission programs into Baylor College of Medicine and other disciplines, other professional schools that students can do in a joint degree, undergraduate and doctorate. A lot of natural sciences. Our campus is incredible. If you guys do get the chance to please do some of our virtual tours, I encourage you to. Our business school is one of the other larger colleges on our campus, 20 different majors. Some concentrations like sports sponsorship and sales only exist at Baylor. And so very, very unique, a highly sought after business school globally. And to that degree, these are some of the employers that actively come onto our campus to recruit our students. And I'm sure you can recognize a few of them. And ultimately, as far as like return on your investment, you see how many internships are awarded or that are available for our students. The number of jobs that are offered or campus interviews that are done on campus lead to the success of our students after they graduate. So it's something that we all have to keep in mind when thinking about what comes after college and how can a university truly prepare you for that next step. And I think Baylor does a great job of that. Our student life, incredibly vibrant. We are a Division I, Big 12 school. So if you guys are familiar with the Power 5 conferences, we're one of the largest conferences in the Big 12. Over 330 different clubs and organizations, ranging from your multicultural to your professional, social organizations. So many ways to get involved and to have a really exciting experience at Baylor. We sit on the largest river in the state of Texas. So the university is divided by the athletic side and the academic side. Our football stadium actually sits on a body of water, so boats can be brought into the stadium. It's pretty amazing. We believe in study abroad and a globalized education. And so close to 100 different programs in over 50 different countries, especially after the pandemic, of course, where our students can be involved and really take their education, their experience abroad. So if that's something you're interested in, Baylor is at the forefront of it. Traditions, being such an old institution and leads to lots of traditions and experiences. Some Some are wacky, some are really unique, but it's incredible. We have the largest and oldest homecoming in the United States on a college campus. Everything's big time. Baylor line, every freshman gets a Baylor jersey and welcomes our football team to the stadium before every home game. All universities sing. Dr. Pepper hour, unlimited Dr. Pepper floats every hour for an hour every Tuesday, just for the camaraderie. And Dr. Pepper was founded in Waco, so you're welcome. Some of the deadlines, like a lot of my colleagues, we have our early action, early decision by November 1 around the corner, and then our regular deadline by February 1. And this shows a little timeline of when you can expect to hear back from the university after you select your application deadline. Ways to apply, we have our own application on our website. We are a Common App school, and then also Apply Texas. All are free to you as a student, and all of them are equally valued. So whatever's easiest for you. We are a test optional school, like my colleagues. The application's free. We do require an official transcript, an essay, and then we have a few supplemental items, non-required, but they allow us to know a little bit more about you, which is something that we highly value. And we have a lot of virtual events. Next week, we have a very large one, our premiere, which showcase the university. Please take advantage of them. Some are tied to scholarships, which can be a big deal. But ultimately, please do take the chance to get to know us a little bit better. Here is our contact information. We actually have an accredited zoo on campus with live North American black bears. And so at least come see us for that. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm learning so many things tonight, and not just where Dr. Pepper came from, but like lots of great stuff. And we still have many schools to go. So making our way to the Midwest, Washington University in St. Louis.
Well, wonderful and great. I know we're all looking forward to hearing more about each of the schools here today. My name is Emily. I work at the Washington University in St. Louis, and I am excited to share WashU with you. If you'll give me just one moment, I'll get our presentation queued up, and looking forward to that, sharing the information. I'll start by saying you might have a lot more questions about WashU when we're done, and that's okay. Make use of that Q&A box, but know that you can always also reach out to our office because we are happy to be helpful. WashU is a medium-sized private university. We are located, as our name suggests, in St. Louis, Missouri. And that's where I'm going to start, because to understand WashU, you need to understand St. Louis. St. Louis is a great place to be a student. Right on the other side of campus, you'll find the Forest Park, which is one of the largest urban parks in America, full of great places that are free to hang out and check out, like the St. Louis Zoo. Just talking about zoos a minute ago. We are actually also the Bears. That's our mascot. So we'll have to see what kind of mascots we have in the room. The other side of campus, you'll find the Del Mar Loop, where students hang out. There are coffee shops. There's great places to be a young person. About 3 million people live in the metro area around St. Louis, and it has the amenities of a bigger city, but the feel of a smaller town. We are a city of neighborhoods. We are historic, we are vibrant, and we are growing. So St. Louis is a place we're not just excited to be a university, but thrilled to have in our name as well. So who comes to WashU, and what do you need to know about us? We combine top-notch academic rigor and challenge, the discovery of information and research, with a strong emphasis on community and culture. And we have about 7,000 undergraduate students, each studying in one of 5 different divisions. So as you apply to the university, you select your future academic home. It might be architecture, art, business, engineering, or our College of Arts and Sciences. One of the great things, though, is you'll have the entire university at your fingertips as a student, and you can take advantage of classes in any of these areas, no matter what division is where you enter. So students and faculty work very closely in areas like research. Most classes are small, and there's a lot of opportunity to get to know each other, because as I mentioned at the start, community is super important to us. We have this unofficial motto. We want to get to know every student by name and by story. And that's because each of our students has their own individual path and interests, but we really value the importance of coming together as a community. We also have lots of ways to enhance what you're learning in the classroom. So maybe it's study abroad. About 40% of WashU students will study abroad at some point. Maybe it's doing research with a faculty member. There are over 3,000 different research projects that students and others are involved in. Maybe it's owning and running a campus business like the berry sweet shop right on our campus. Or maybe it's being engaged in the community. There are over 600 different community partnerships in the area. Together, WashU students do more than 7 million hours of civic engagement each year. It ranges from voter drives to hands-on service to research projects. WashU students are incredibly busy, and they do a lot outside the classroom. More than 400 different clubs and organizations, ranging from a cappella to performing arts, cultural identity, affinity organizations, you name it, there's probably someone on WashU's campus doing it. We also have NCAA Division III athletics, some of the more popular and interesting clubs, things like butter churning. We also have Kumquat, which is our campus farm. We also have a Hawaii club, which includes many students from Hawaii coming together to share aloha and spread information about Hawaiian culture and traditions. So there's always something happening on campus. And when you're ready to pursue your future after campus, our Career Services Office is there to help. We have a complete system of advisors at the university, everything from your major to, of course, a career services advisor working with you to figure out how you're going to have an impact when you're done. If you're interested in applying, some things to note: we meet 100% of demonstrated need for every admitted student. So please don't let the cost of a WashU education keep you from exploring your interests. We want to make WashU affordable to you. The other thing to note that I would mention for this year is if you're a senior thinking about applying to WashU, we are test optional. So you do not need to submit the SAT or ACT. We are truly test optional. We know COVID-19 has had a lot of impacts, and other things have had a lot of impacts on students all around the world. So we have removed that requirement from our process. 3 different application deadlines: early decision 1, which is binding, November 1st, early decision 2, which is binding, January 2nd, and regular decision, which is not binding, that's also January 2nd. We accept the common application or the coalition application, and we're also a QuestBridge partner school. That's a lot of information to share with you, but I will leave you with a favorite anecdote or tradition of our campus. Every Tuesday at 3 p.m., students come together from across campus for something that we call Tuesday tea at 3. Oh, couldn't even get it out. And I love this tradition because I think it says so much about the spirit of our community. Students, faculty, staff, we all gather in the Danforth University Center for a sweet treat and a cup of tea. Maybe it's a performance by a student organization. Maybe it is a lecture or just coming together to meet new friends. We are a place that puts community as a center of what we do. Our students and faculty and staff come from all over the United States and the world. Nearly half of our students identify as people of color or people of other nations. And it's really important to us that we think about how coming together in a collaborative spirit grows everyone's educational journey. If you have questions or want to learn more, I encourage you to check out our website. There you'll find all sorts of information about how to join us for other virtual opportunities too. Thanks so much.
Thanks, WashU. Again, so many colleges, so many great things that we've learned, and we still have 2 more to go. Don't forget to put those questions in the chat. Up next, you're going to hear from Goucher College. You're up. Yep.
Got it. Aloha, everyone. My name is Lisa Hill, and I am Senior Associate Director of Admissions here at Goucher College. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to hear about all these wonderful colleges. Goucher College is located in Maryland, so we're on the East Coast, just north of Baltimore. Just north of Baltimore in the suburb of Towson. Our campus is 1,300 students. We, with an average class size, we have a 287-acre campus with about 1,300 students in attendance. We are residential with nearly 90% of our students living on campus all 4 years. We're very much a community. About a third of our students are first generation. About a third of our students are Pell eligible students. About 40% of our students have identified themselves as a student of color. About 40% of our students have identified themselves as a member of the LGBTQ plus community, and about a third of our students are athletes. So you can see it's a very diverse community. That's something that we like. We want our students to feel comfortable, to feel like they belong. This is their home. Our students don't look alike and they don't act alike, but they are definitely friendly. And it's nice as you walk around campus to see a smiling face. So we are a liberal arts college. However, we do not have your traditional liberal arts curriculum. We've gotten rid of kind of the checklist of all liberal arts colleges and designed a program that's more inquiry based. You start off with a series of seminar classes that are centered around real world problems, and they're interdisciplinary in focus. So you get to start asking questions, get to start learning about the world around you right from the beginning. We do have areas of proficiency that we ask students to pursue in data analytics, foreign language, and writing. The data analytics and writing will be associated with your areas of study. And we also have 2 areas of justice that we ask students to pursue in their own way: in race, power, and perspective, and environmental sustainability. The curriculum also includes opportunities for internships, as we are located right outside of Baltimore. Students have a wonderful opportunity to apply what they're learning in classroom in real life settings. We also require all of our students to study abroad. So we have 100% of our students traveling around the world during their junior year. Our programs are semester in length, 3 weeks in length, or a year in length. And they're very flexible because we have athletes who will rather not miss a season to study abroad. So we offer our 3-week programs. Our Office of Global Education will work with students to find a program that meets your needs. So outside of the classroom, my students are very active, as you would imagine. We do not have Greek life on campus, but we do have a robust social activities on campus, over 60 clubs and organizations for students to participate in, including the B Club, the Bad Movie Club, anime, cultural clubs. We have a very active student engagement team that sponsors a lot of different events on campus. We are Division III in sports, and we also offer intramural and recreation activities. One thing that just popped in my mind I forgot to mention during our academics, we offer over 30 majors, 18 standalone minors. We just added 8 new majors this year, including engineering, science, and education studies. And we have a joint partnership with Johns Hopkins where you can get your master's in your 5th year. In terms of applying to Goucher, we are on the Common Application and we have our own Goucher video application. The video application is just that. Instead of a transcript and scores, you will submit a 2-minute video answering a specified question. It is up to you to decide what application you want to submit. We are test optional. Have been test optional since 2006, and we require no application fee. If you submit the common application, I am your admissions counselor, so I am the person that will evaluate you for admission, as well as our merit scholarships. And our scholarships range from $12,500 per year for 4 years to $33,000 per year for 4 years. 97% of our students receive some sort of assistance on campus, so we do have a robust financial aid program. We offer 2 admissions deadlines: early action and regular decision. Both deadlines offer what we call rolling notification. So although we have a decision notification date, once your application is complete, we will notify you of your admissions decision as well as your merit scholarship within 2 weeks. So that's a little bit about Goucher. We are a proud member of the Colleges That Change Lives. So thank you very much for your time. If you have any questions, please add them to the chat. Be well, be safe, and thanks again for coming today.
Thank you, Goucher. Our final presentation tonight is from Northland College.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. My name is Abigail. I'm an admissions fellow at Northland College, and I also just graduated from Northland. And we are a small environmental liberal arts college in northern Wisconsin. Whoops. So we are as far north in the state of Wisconsin as you can basically go. So we're in Ashland, Wisconsin, which is less than a mile from Lake Superior, which is the largest of the Great Lakes and largest freshwater lake by surface area in the world. We're also surrounded by about 1 million acres of national forest, and we also have access to the Apostle Islands National Lakeshore, which is a federally protected marine sanctuary. There's 21 islands in the Chequamegon Bay that host a unique blend of cultural and natural resources. So when you think of Wisconsin, you might think of cornfields, cows, and cheese curds, but I would say it's more like rugged forested areas, white sand beaches, and incredible natural beauty. So in the foreground of this photo, you can see our stadium for our Division III sports like soccer and lacrosse, and campus is right behind that. And then behind that, in kind of the midground of this photo, is the city of Ashland with a population of about 8,000 people. So it's a nice close-knit community with a lot of locally owned small businesses like movie theaters, thrift stores, co-ops, coffee shops, bike shops, kind of just all those sorts of things that you would expect to find in a rural city. And then beyond that, you do have Chequamegon Bay, which is a large sandy bay on the southern shores of Lake Superior. Even though we're kind of in a more rural area, for students still looking to have some bigger city experiences, we're about an hour from Duluth and about 3 hours from the Twin Cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul in Minnesota. Northland is firmly in that kind of liberal arts tradition at its core, so you'll definitely still find programs like English, sociology, business, and teacher education. But no matter what you study, you get a well-rounded foundation to kind of think critically, read, write, and communicate. You get trained from the ground up as a really well-rounded individual prepared to succeed for your first job right after college. So you're going to find a lot of programs across the spectrum, but some unique things that we offer as an environmentally friendly school is natural resources, outdoor education, humanities and nature studies, sustainable community development, and sustainable agriculture. We do have a unique perspective though. We have an emphasis on the environment, sustainability, and social justice. So we're known nationwide for this, and we're able to kind of incorporate different elements of sustainability and environmental perspectives in all of our curriculum to really prepare students to kind of think critically about the world that incorporates both human interests, but also, of course, environmental interests. We're also a Division III school with lots of opportunity for playing time. So we offer some various sports here. And then also our location really just underwrites kind of everything we do. So you'll have a lot of opportunities to get out into the field and experience what you're learning from a real world perspective. And that extends to research, internships, and study abroad. Our students also really enjoy outdoor recreation since we live in such a beautiful place. So spending time on the lake, canoeing, kayaking, paddleboarding, or hiking and camping in the summer, to skiing, snowboarding, ice skating in the winter. And we do get an average of about 107 inches of snow per year. So lots of fresh things to kind of go out and get outside. We're also a part of Eco League, where you can spend another semester at one of these small, environmentally friendly sister schools for the same cost as attending Northland. So you can have access to an even broader range of classes, experiences, professors, and communities. And some of these schools are in places like Alaska, Arizona, Florida, and Maine. Speaking of community, Northland's community is small and close-knit. Students say it's pretty friendly on campus, and we are smaller, so about 600 students, and so classes of about 15, but that ranges from like 4 students to about 20 students. You really get to know your professors on a first-name basis, and they help steer you towards outcomes perfectly in line with what you're interested in. We're also known for providing experiential learning in abundance, whether that's in the field, in the lab, or in the community. For example, we have biology and natural resources majors spend countless hours in the field identifying things, collecting data, lab projects, doing research, and some students even have the opportunity for the research to get published for the work that they do, which is a great opportunity for undergraduates looking to go on to graduate school. And of course, our graduates go on to do amazing things, with about 92% of our graduates employed or in graduate school about 6 months after graduation. It's also super easy to apply. It's free. All we need is your high school transcript, and we are test optional, no disadvantage to not submitting scores, and we have no deadline. So anytime you're kind of ready for that. And as a private school, our sticker price is of course higher, but with more scholarships and financial aid to award, no one pays that full price. And so we have academic merit scholarships, as well as additional ones for visiting campus, as well as talking to your admissions counselor, which would be me. And every student who files the FAFSA receives a minimum of at least $1,000 a year for work study jobs on campus, of which there are many options that are non-competitive and pretty unlimited. And of course, if you'd like to learn more, we'd love for you to reach out and I'd love to talk. So thank you so much for listening to our presentation. Bye.
Thank you, Northland. I'd now like to invite all of our panelists to turn back on their cameras. And if there was a question that was asked in the chat that you would like to answer verbally, feel free to do that. If you were able to get to all those questions, I would invite you to give a piece of advice to seniors, or a fun fact about your institution, maybe a campus tradition, something unique, or maybe you'd like to talk a little bit more about your location or a fun place to visit on your campus. So we'll go back in the same order that we presented in, with the University of San Francisco first.
Great, awesome. Well, just want to highlight some of our cultural clubs on campus. With 6 minutes, we definitely missed a few things. So just want to, I know some students were asking about that. We do have a lot of cultural clubs on our campus at USF, especially with the diversity on campus. And we do have several that are related to the Hawaiian culture. We have a Hawaiian ensemble club that performs at different events throughout our campus and within the city. They do a big luau every year, as well as Pacific Islander Collective. So those are just a few clubs, but lots of cultural clubs for students to get involved in at the university. So just thought I'd share that with all of you.
Thank you. Mills.
Yeah, so one thing I did not touch upon earlier was our commitment to social justice, social justice, equity, and inclusion. My apologies. So yeah, Mills is very much known for our students being very active, being activists, being politically engaged, or being connected with their community outside of our actual campus. On top of our transgender admissions policy, which now allows transgender and gender nonconforming students to apply to Mills. As we all know, with the Black Lives Matter movement that has happened over the years, specifically during this summer, our institution has now actually declared ourselves to working towards being an anti-racist institution. So this is us acknowledging higher education and our history, and also standing in solidarity with our students. So a lot of our programming for our students to get engaged with their community has been readjusted for this fall semester to really teach our students how to be anti-racist and how to do leadership, being as inclusive as they can be. So that way, when they do graduate from Mills, they're able to take those tools that they learned here at Mills, either through the clubs they're a part of, or being a part of those events on campus. They will then take those into the outer world to help continue making progress in the world. So yeah, that's a little bit about Mills that I wasn't able to talk about earlier.
Thank you. Baylor.
Yeah, if I can give any advice, I think like everyone here has mentioned it. Like, as students, please feel comfortable reaching out to your counselors. Feel comfortable asking to speak with maybe another student from Hawaii on their college campus, or a faculty member or something like that, and do your research and get to know the university well. And so I encourage you all to do that. We are a close-knit community, like my colleagues here, and at Baylor, at least, if you ever do want to talk to our Hawaii club members, or maybe someone who's made the journey that you're about to make to a state like Texas, or what it's like, I mean, we want to be an open book, and that's what we're here for, to support you in this journey. And like a lot of my colleagues, if questions about finances or other things are out there, ask them, and let us be a resource and walk you through the process and identify resources for you. And if you really want to be at Baylor or any of these other fine institutions, we want to be your #1 cheerleader. So definitely count on us. And I guess a fun fact, Courtney, we are older than the state of Texas, is a fun fact about Baylor. So founded before Texas was its own country. It was its own country before it's its own state. I think a lot of people would still want it to be its own country, but no. Thank you.
Dr. Pepper is still my favorite.
You like that one? Okay.
Wash you.
Sure. Quick fun facts. The 1904 World's Fair and the 1904 Olympics both took place in St. Louis, in part on our campus. Today, we honor them with an annual residential college Olympics. Most students at WashU live on campus. We guarantee you housing for all 4 years, and we bring that tradition alive. Can tell you more about it if you reach out to us. It involves things like twister and chess and donut eating competitions.
Oh, that sounds super fun. Goucher.
Very quick, our location, as I said, we are right outside of Baltimore. Baltimore is 12 miles south of us. So our students take full advantage of being a suburban campus with access to Baltimore and over 15 colleges and universities. So there are a lot of activities for students, especially coming from the distance.
Thank you so much. And finally, Northland.
Thank you. I would say we actually see the Northern Lights on Northland's campus. As a student, over my 4 years, I got to see the Northern Lights 4 different times, and it's a really special experience for sure.
Holy cow, that's really cool. Well, I'm sure you will join me in saying thank you so much to all of our panelists tonight. Thank you, participants, for joining us. We loved having you. As you close this window tonight, you'll get a link to a very quick 4-question survey, and we hope that you'll give us some feedback. This was just one of the many sessions that was happening, so feel free to sign up for additional sessions. And the session was recorded, and so it's going to be made on demand, or made available on demand, along with other session recordings at that website where you registered. Have a great afternoon, and thanks so much for joining us, everyone.